Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Planning and Highways Committee meeting today, the 22nd of February. I don't think I need to go through all this, although we've got one member of the public, but I'm sure he's familiar with our procedure. But can I remind everybody to put their phones either on silent or turned on, please? Item 1, apologies for absence, and Councillor Markwell and subbed by Councillor Werner. Thank you for subbing once again, Councillor Werner. Agenda item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interests and interests other than pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda. Item 3, public participation. To deal with any questions or brief representations from members of the public in accordance with relevant legislation and Seaford Town Council policy. In accordance with Town Council policy, members of the public wishing to speak on individual planning applications may do so immediately before each planning application. Are you going to speak on anything so I can go straight through? Thank you. So it brings us on to agenda item 4, planning applications. Received in week commencing the 29th of January. LW/24/0046, 10 Salisbury Road. Erection of a single-storey rear extension.
Just putting up the existing rear where the development is taking place, and the proposed rear, so it's just a filling in of the space at the back, really, quite a minor infill. But, so that space there is being sort of continued as per the existing rear extension, which makes it neater from a view from the rear. There's no impact on the front view at all.
Who would like to lead on this? Councillor Hunt.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I'm quite happy to support this. I mean, I think the gardens are pretty big for the central part of the city anyway, so I'm quite happy to support that. It's not going to impact on Chichester Road next to it, is it? So it's fine. Thank you.
Does that find a seconder? Councillor Werner, any other comments? No? So can I have a show of hands of supporting this application?
That's supported unanimously, thank you.
LW/24/0007, 29 Sutton Avenue. Erection of a single-storey rear extension, new pitch roof over the existing extension on alterations to fenestration.
So a rear extension.
Yeah.
Right, so look at the rear elevation. Proposed.
Hello, sorry mate. Where you got me?
Proposed rear elevation. Oh, no, we've done it already. Existing rear elevation. The plans are sort of virtually hand drawn. Yeah. That's the rear elevation. as existing and as proposed. So again, it's a sort of infill treatment to the other side, to the side which doesn't have an existing rear elevation. So it's like a completing the development. And again, it doesn't project into the plot sufficiently to have any impact on the neighbour. And the side extension is the same, the rear. So again, it's quite a minor alteration, which could be said to be an improvement. And there's a roof added as well, or a small roof covering.
Who'd like to lead on this application? Councillor Bowman?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think it's just quite simple. They've got a small expansion, they're just extending it across the whole back of the property, and the pitch roof would just give the back a little bit more character, so quite happy to support it.
Thank you. Is that fine to second it?
Yeah, I just wanted to query, because obviously some of the other pictures look very, very handy. And is that, yeah, some of them are really handy.
Yes. You can always tell
They're better than some of
the
them.
ones that took some time to validate because the reference is slightly older. So they've obviously delayed it for a few weeks to ask for more drawings. So they have looked at it, but so it must come up to the right standards. But it's a pity because it doesn't come over very well online. But it must have passed the test because it came in early January and wasn't validated until early February. So they've obviously sort of gone backwards and forwards a couple of times to make sure they've got all the plans. Because they weren't done professionally, there's often plans missing and things like that. But you can just about make it. But it's probably at the bottom of the acceptable standard.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other questions? So can I have a show of hands supporting this application, please?
That's supported unanimously. You came in after the start of that one?
I didn't myself miss some of the debate on that, so
I see, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. It's not an M-con or anything, so you can joining in now? Right,
Yeah.
fine.
Moving on to LW/24/0042, 3 Cliff Tops, Cliff Road, single storey rear extension.
Again, it's like it's very similar. Put up the existing rear and side extension. Luckily the plans are a bit better. And proposed. Rear and side. So that's there's very little.
So it doesn't look but much difference.
It's a very small, it's a tiny extension.
Yeah. So again, very little change between the two. Yeah, I'm checking that I've got the right ones, but yeah,
Have the one.
it is very
I
very
think you
small.
need to look at the plan actually. It'll be much clearer on the plan.
I mean on the floor plan.
Yes.
We'll have a look at that.
It's out there.
But sometimes these extensions may seem very small, and you might wonder why they need permission. It's probably because the householder has used up their tolerance of permitted development on the other extension, the other side. So they need, because they only get a certain amount of floor area as a sort of permitted development limit. Ground floor plan.
clear and
So it's just there.
Just a little bit of that.
Yeah, exactly. So they must have had quite a big extension before, and so used up their rights, if you like. So pretty straightforward.
Okay, who would like to lead on this application? Councillor Buchanan?
Yes, I think I would support this. One of the next use of the bedroom, parking wardrobe, look out over the garden, very small.
Thank you. Does that find a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Allman. Any other comments? No. Can I have a show of hands of supporting this application?
That's supported unanimously, thank you.
Thank you. LW stroke 23 stroke 0742 14 to 16 Sutton Park Road. Replacement of one projecting signage, one logo, one ATM surround, and decals of and safety manifestation with the new National Building Society.
Yeah, it's just a change of branding for Nationwide from the from the little house they used to have to a sort of red blob.
Because I thought it was nationwide, and I wondered if something had been a typo somewhere.
I only know because
But they have rebranded and they've got a new sign, so that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's any change is requires, because they're a commercial property, any change requires consent. So, but it's pretty minimal really. Enlarge it a bit. Yes, they used to have a little house, but they wanted to make it, give it a bit of colour, obviously. So it's a red blob instead. But I don't think it has any impact on the shop frontages there. Some people might prefer it. I don't know.
Okay, who would like to lead on this one? Councillor Winner?
Well, it's a minor alteration of a brand sign on a commercial property on the main road, so it will be noticeable because it's changed its name, so it's helpful to customers, but it's not really going to make any major difference.
Are you proposing to support it?
Pardon?
Are you
Oh
proposing
yes,
to
yes,
support it?
yes.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
supporting it.
Councillor
Yeah,
Hammond?
by the by, Chair, I think they've already done something anyway, so.
So you're seconding?
Yeah,
Thank you. Can I have a show of hands, please?
That's
Thank you.
supported unanimously.
Planning applications received Monday, the 5th of February. LW stroke 24 stroke 0071, 54 Hartfield Road. Replacement of existing brick wall and timber fence with brick flint wall to front side boundaries. Installation of a pergola at the side, extending existing side drop curb and associated landscaping.
This is quite a prominent property. To propose an existing. So that's the existing. There's quite a long wooden fence, pretty standard, and the proposed is for a more substantial flint. Well, flint. You can see the details of the flint. A flint wall with brick piers, and it involves an extension to the crossover, which is on this sort of road. The crossovers are on unclassified roads. Crossovers are okay. The county will need to ensure that the construction of it is up to standard. But pergola at the side.
Sorry, can I just go back to the previous case? It hasn't changed, the Nationwide Building Society haven't changed their name to National.
No, that's a typo, sorry.
Yeah,
I
that is
noticed,
a
I noticed
typo,
that when I
yeah.
went through, yeah.
Yeah, it's still the Nationwide,
It's-
although they've changed their logo.
Yeah,
they've
it
not
sounds
changed
like
their name.
probably
Yeah.
a bank years and years ago called
Yeah,
National
yeah.
Bank. But no,
Yeah.
I should have mentioned that.
Yeah, it is the
Apologise
Nationwide,
for
not the
that.
National.
Yeah, it's a
Just
typing,
saving for
yeah.
accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
thanks.
probably came up when they start typing nation, it probably comes up before
Yeah.
nationwide.
Yeah.
It's predictive text for you. It always catches everybody. So,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is it. And the pergola, presumably, is, it doesn't actually say, does it?
I think it's
It's
just
just on the,
Yeah,
it's on
it's
the
the cross-
left-hand
the
side of
crosshatch
that
bit.
house.
Yes,
Between
between the house and the car.
On the left-hand
Just-
side?
Oh,
the
yeah.
top of the garden.
There,
Yes,
yes.
Ah. But I mean, overall, it's an improvement, I would have thought, in appearance. Wooden fences tend to look a bit untidy if they're not looked after well, whereas this sort of wall will be an enhancement on quite a prominent corner.
Yeah, I think it looks quite neat. Anyway, who would like to lead on this? Councillor Cannon was first.
Yes, I just skip on. Actually, it does improve it in the sense that at the moment, there's nowhere to park a car on this plot. So this actually improves that from, it's a substantial detached house, and that's going to improve that. And I've got no other problem supporting any of this.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Barman?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. There doesn't seem to be many other flint walls on this road. They're all plain brick walls and wooden fences. So when you look down the road, it's kind of out of keeping for a flint wall in the area. Although, yes, I agree, on the plans looking in front of us, it does look like an improvement, but it's kind of out of keeping for the area.
Councillor Hanneman?
Yeah, I was just going to mention about obviously the new car park. The new entrance, because there was at the front. Now they're going to put it to Arundel Road. I've had a look on the street view, and there is a driveway further down. It's just the position of it, because that's a really busy corn junction. Where it is when it's in Hartfield Road, that bit's not too busy. Whereas because it's going to be right on where the crossway for Arundel Road, that's a busy junction. But as you say, county will look at it anyway. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I think, yes, I see a councillor commented as a consultee. Yeah, I would have thought.
They leave it right to the last minute.
Yeah, they're often late.
The existing drop curb actually doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. But if it's not a classified road, then there's no discretion anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's only when it's a sort of A, B or C road. So I think the only classified road would be the 8259 or possibly Sutton Avenue, but the roads in between wouldn't be classified at all. So there would be no. Yes, it does come closer to the junction.
Yeah, I just thought I'd make that comment.
Yeah.
That is quite a busy thoroughfare.
It might be something that the officer might pick up.
I felt that the wall, I thought looked quite neat, and but if it had been any higher, I would have said no. But because they're keeping more or less the same height, in my opinion, I felt it was acceptable. Have can we, unless there's any other comments, can we have a proposer to support this application? Councillor Buchanan, seconded by Councillor Honeyroom, but do you want to make an extra on the...
Well, I think obviously you've got the highways need to look at it. It's just that, it's very tight. It's just that, I'm just concerned about the distance and knowing how busy that is, especially like when it's school time or anything like that. What provision's going to be able to be put into there for it? I said, I know there's a driveway a bit further down, but it's that little bit further away. Sorry, that's an obvious answer.
So you know, support the main elements of the
Yeah.
application,
Yeah.
the wall, but there was some concern that the new crossover would be too close to the junction, the busy junction with of Arundel and Hartfield Road. And just to express concern so that
Yeah.
they pick it up and
then
think about it.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, Councillor Kenner, as a proposer? Okay. So can I have a show of hands of supporting this application?
That's supported, subject to that sort of proviso.
Those
So-
against? One against.
One against, so that's 6-1. 1, 2, 5-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-1, sorry. So support the main elements, but some concerns about crossover. Thanks.
Right, LW/24/0075, 34th Crescent. Flat roof, single storey, side rear infill extension. Installation of a rear decking with access steps and privacy screen. And alterations to existing side and rear fenestration.
The main element is the decking. And so I'll give a side view of the decking so you can see the extent of it and the steps. That would be, yeah. I'll look at the combined plans. See there's the decking coming out into the garden, and with the privacy screen being here, which is on the side of the semi-detached house. It joins. If you go a bit lower, you'll see the side view of the decking. The screen would be 1.8 metres, which is just about 6 foot. The curve down there. I would have thought it would be obscure glass if it says it's a privacy screen.
Yeah.
But if your mind is to support it, we often mention it so it's ensured that the screen's obscure. But that's the basic. And the rear elevation is as that, which is sort of a neater arrangement than the previous one.
Okay. Who'd like to lead on this application? Councillor Honeyman?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it's a very small extension really, and so I'd like to support it straight away. It's an issue. I'm interested in the sense the privacy screen. I couldn't quite work that out exactly. Is that the screen which is basically just on the decking itself? Is that what they mean by the privacy screen, or is that?
Yeah, I think it's because it's semi-detached bungalow, so it's the neighbouring bungalow.
Yeah.
So
It'll be there. So
That bit, yeah.
to secure the privacy of both the applicant's property and the neighbour's property. But as far as privacy of this property is concerned, there wouldn't be really an issue because that's a garage, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just to secure privacy there, and it's 6 foot on the actual flat part of the decking and with the steps down to the garden.
I'm both happy.
Councillor Clay?
Assuming there's been no objection to the neighbours about this?
No,
That's green.
unregistered.
Councillor Hunman?
I was going to say, I did actually Google what exactly they meant by privacy screening, and I had things coming up like bamboo screening. So it can just be anything, basically.
Yeah. Well, we could, like we've done in the past, put obscure glazing. couldn't
Yeah,
we?
Yeah.
it could just be perspex or some sort of
Yeah.
plastic screen,
Yeah.
but as long as it's obscure.
Anybody else? So can I have a proposer to support this application? Thank you, Councillor Honeyman. Seconded by Councillor Olivia Honeyman. And a
Sorry, is that with obscured glazing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're happy, it's just
Yeah.
clarification, but I mean, in a lot of ways, unless you actually see it, sometimes it's quite hard, sometimes to, I can see why they've got it, but because of the geography of where that is,
Yeah. Okay.
it has to be included, I think, one way or other, so.
Yeah. Okay. So can I have a show of hands supporting this application, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in favour.
Those against?
I'll abstain.
Right.
Yeah, same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. LW stroke 24 stroke 0077 7 Chinkton Road, replacement double garage.
This is just a very straightforward replacement.
It's like-
Destroyed by fire, but it's always best to put in an application because there's no real right of like for like replacement because it's very difficult to get like for like. So usually people, as a safeguard, put in an application, but it is very much a replacement from a one destroyed by fire.
Who would like lead on this application? Councillor Bond?
Yeah, as from what I can see on the plans and from the pictures of the original garage, it is like for like as close as it can be, so I'm quite happy to support it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Was that find a seconder? I think Councillor Hunman was just first,
Yes,
so.
it'd be between.
So we can have a show of hands supporting this application.
That's supported unanimously, thank you.
There were no applications on week commencing the 12th of February. So we go on to Tree Works, TW stroke 24 stroke 0012 stroke TPO, 2 Salisbury Court, Salisbury Road.
Got the luxury of some photos here.
Yeah, we've got Sycamore, we
I'm
found
sorry.
reduction of 3.5 metres. And it's nice to have,
Yeah.
It's a very nice photo.
yeah,
But there's a few others, a couple of them. One in the corner, the rear, and one in the corner at the front, I think. I think there's a plan of the location of the 2 trees.
I think it's just for T1, isn't it?
I think it's just one tree.
Oh yeah, of course it is, yeah. There is a plan of,
It's just showing it. from
yes, it's the
different
one,
angles.
it's the one there.
Yeah.
So, again, it's good to see some photos. I wish they appeared on every tree application. And it does seem as if it needs a bit of care. And as it's a sycamore, it'll be quite quick growing, so probably I don't think there's anything to any concern about it. It should be supported.
Councillor Hunman.
Oh yeah, when I went to look at this last night, I couldn't open up the actual documents. Just wouldn't open, so I don't know whether they're going to open now, because I would like to read the rest of the information.
Yes, I couldn't open.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the application form?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 documents.
Yeah,
One
there
in
is.
the middle.
Yeah, oh sorry, God, it wasn't just me, I just couldn't. I'm sure it'll open now, that one.
See if I can get some luck. I had trouble during the week opening some of the documents actually, of the other application.
That
No.
was the application form, wasn't it?
Mm. I think if there was any additional information in the form, it would be included in the description.
Yeah,
So often you get a
as
very
it's
long.
crown reduction, I'm
Yeah.
not too worried, but it would be nice to actually be able to see what else.
Yeah, there might not be anything else, but I just say crown reduction.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a pity, yes. They never seem to be perfect. You get photographs, you don't get the application. But I think the photographs are quite
Yeah.
useful.
I think we've got enough information to
Yeah, it'd just
make
be
a
nice to have
decision.
the rest of it, because sometimes it's nice to know whether it's diseased or who actually, if they actually own the tree, because that was something we had once before, wasn't it? They didn't actually own the tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. That's why we brought it up. So I would like to look at that, see if they actually.
Right. Any more comments?
Yeah, I think the photograph's good because it gives you a sense of
Yeah.
proportion.
Mm.
You can visualise what percentage of the ground they want to take out.
Yeah.
And it's probably about a third, isn't it?
Yeah.
Height,
Okay. So you're going to support the application? Thank you. Does that find a seconder? Councillor Boardman? Any other comments? Can I have a show of hands of supporting this application?
That's supported unanimously.
Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item 5. And we're asked to note the report unless there's any questions on Appendix A.
The only thing to mention is the approval of the erection of 2 studio flats at 90 Claremont was overruled. We suggested that there was just room for 1 rather than 2 because it was being crammed in, but I presume it was the fact that it was to be used for emergency housing. Maybe tip the balance in favour of it. So you know, if that use for emergency housing is in the description, that means that it's limited to emergency housing. So perhaps it was thought that as it would be short term, it would be more acceptable to be sort of crammed in, if you like. So as I say, we didn't have an objection in principle. It was just the fact that the objection to 2 being there rather than 1. Otherwise, as far as the application is concerned, the decisions have been in line with our responses, and I've listed quite a few tree applications reported as well. I think in all those cases we either supported the tree officer or sort of left it to the tree officer to decide himself. The split decision, as I said, for 7 Bennington Close, as I say, there are no other details posted, but do relate to 8 sycamores. So, you know, it could have been any. They obviously look at each individual tree, so it could have been any split. Could have been 4, 4, 5, 3. You know, so. It's a pity that there weren't any details posted, but it did say split decision. So.
What does a split decision mean?
Well, the works to some of the trees were approved, but not to all the trees, because the same works were proposed to all 8 sycamores, which is thinning by 20% and reduction in height by 6 metres. So, you know, the tree officer thought that was suitable for some of them, but not all of them. But we don't know whether it was 7-1, 6-2, 5-3 or 4-4, and which way. So, the split is not, it doesn't concern the tree, it concerns the decision. So.
Okay.
Any more questions? Councillor Foreman?
Can I just ask, have we heard anything back from the tree appeal?
No, that was the 2nd of Feb. So it might be a bit early. Decisions usually take about 3 or 4 weeks. although this would be quite straightforward. But I will check before the next meeting, so it's the
Yeah,
Crooked Lane.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I'm
I
assuming,
lost
yeah.
that before the
I was
meeting.
just thinking it may not have made it to the
Yeah.
agenda, but we may have heard by
It'd
now.
be interesting to know what happened.
Yeah.
I'll
Because it was the day after our
I'll
last
do
meeting.
some digging and put it on the next agenda report if it's available.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so can I ask you to note the report? Show of hands. Thank you. That concludes the first part of our meeting. So I now have to go to agenda item 6. Chair will move that in accordance with the Public Bodies Act 1960 to press and public to be excluded from the meeting during the discussion on the next item of business for reasons set out below. Proper officers considers that discussion of the following items is likely to disclose exempt information as defined under the Local Government Act 1972 and data protection legislation and may therefore need to take place in private session. The exempt information reasons are shown alongside each item below. Furthermore, in relation to paragraph 10 of the Schedule 12A, it is considered that the public interest in maintaining exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay. Thank you. Can I have a show of hands, please?
Right. So,
Thank you.